God bless the many. God bless the many. I wanna thank all who watch my videos and my streams. I want to apologize for my last stream that got interrupted or cut off due to Sony. Somebody must have reported because I was talking on the transgender agenda and the homosexuality agenda. They must not have liked it, so they made sure they got my stream cut. But that's cool because now what you're doing is making me think about actually getting mods. But this isn't going to stop. Either I'm going to have to come up with another account, or there's going to be another brother or person out there telling what's going on in the world. So you could keep on. Y'all could come in with your negativity. You could get me removed. You could get me blocked. But the word is going to come out. So let's get into it. We're now watching extinction level events. Check it.
There's some video that seems to indicate protesters are not, keyword here, not relenting. Described as young people that are upset that they can't get the type of jobs that their parents and their grandparents were able to achieve because the Hong Kong economy just is not what it used to be. They're now doing all that they possibly can to make the Hong Kong economy actually even worse. In fact, the numbers are in. The situation in Hong Kong is grim economically. Real estate,
now,
totally in the dumps ever since
totally in the dumps. Now, what gets me is what happens when all this stuff comes to America, because we're watching it on the other side of the planet right now. Heck, there's some parts of America that's already going through stuff like this. So you let me know what's going to happen or how much worse it's going to be when it hits home. All right?
These protests began. They're accomplishing that apparently by, well, increasing their attacks on what they consider to be the establishment.
Anybody remember the media blackout of Egypt? Egypt's going through it, or Egypt was going through it. Syria's going through it. Over here, you also got Venezuela going through it with Colombia. These are media blackouts, all right? So once someone tells me that these are fake news segments or these aren't real, all I got to say is, hey, you're denying the truth. Okay? At this point in time, extinction level events are happening upon the earth. Judgment is being wrought. Okay? So if you're thinking that these are just going to eventually smooth out and go away and they're just going to make more money, what you're not actually conceiving is the fact that America already makes its own money. They say that the American dollar is a fiat currency, a fake currency. So while you're saying that this is fake news, you're spending fake cash. Think about that one. For one. For two, you also got to think about the fact that they're getting ready to come out with digital cryptocurrency. Real fake cash. So if you want to talk about fake news, maybe we should talk about fake monetary gains or fairy tales of eternal economic growth. Like Greta said, right? And you know what? That's the thing that gets me about this whole Greta situation too. You know, Greta may have been a paid off shill. She may be under George Soros or whatever people want to say. But Greta is telling you the truth. As you look outside right now, today, I'm not too sure the date. I don't have the date right in front of me, but right as this stream's going, and in fact, I'm pretty sure probably the day after and the day after that, hey, the sun's starting to let off an extreme amount of energy. Okay? So if you're thinking for a minute in the back of your mind somewhere that these events are not going to take place, you're sadly mistaken. These things are irreversible. So you can get me blocked, you can remove my stream, but your dream will come to an end. Okay? I'm just letting you know. All right? Remember what I said. Sorry about your God, bro, but we need help. All right? We need help. And I'm talking as a globe. I'm talking about people all over the earth. Hey, just like Greta said. In fact, I'm gonna try to get to Greta. Just like Greta said, there's people suffering. People are dying. Okay, but now since she said that and she's in front of the UN, some muppet, some puppet had to come out of the woodwork and say, "Hey, you know what? She's lying. She's a paid off shill. We can't believe what she's saying." Meanwhile, there's people protesting that say, "Save the planet, eat the babies." And you also have a scientist saying that due to climate change, we may have to start eating dead flesh. This is all Googleable. You can Google this, okay? This isn't me making up some fairy tale. This isn't me trying to bring your life to doom and gloom. This isn't me just trying to promote living in fear. This is actually happening in our society today. And no one has a problem with it. You'd rather get my stream blocked. Well, guess what? Spiritual judgment is befalling the planet. So hopefully you can guide yourself. Hopefully you're right at the end of the day, and you're saying that I'm crazy for believing in a fantasy, a make-believe world, okay? But this stuff is not going to reverse. This is irreversible, okay? Let's check it.
They're attacking metro stations. They're attacking the police. They're even attacking private and public property.
Now, that's what I'm saying. Once this happens to America, how far will we be? All right? Now, they could try to attack my stream all they want. They could pull it down. There's always YouTube. I may have to make another account. If you really follow me, you're going to have to start watching me on YouTube, because somebody's going to come into the Sony thing and try to report me. And you know what? You can report it all you want. This is happening. You want to talk about fake current? No, you want to talk about fake news? Let's talk about fake currency, huh? They said the Federal Reserve prints out a fiat currency, and they're trying to push a digital cryptocurrency. These are all fake monetary systems. What did Apocalypse say in his movie, X-Men Apocalypse? No more systems. No more superpowers. Now, what's a superpower? Let me break this down again one more time for people, okay? Yeah, Guy is definitely tired. And you know what? That's not the only thing that's tired. The sun is heating up the climate to the point that scientists are now promoting us to eat dead flesh. And now you got other people out there protesting to save the planet. We have to eat babies. So we got to lower carbon emissions. Now, me just talking right now is raising our carbon emission, okay? When you talk, you let out that heat, that's carbon. They say that since the trees burnt down in the Amazon, that produced more carbon. So not only is Gaia tired, the planet's tired. The sun is tired. Everything is tired of being enslaved, okay? So once this starts happening to American soil, how much better will it be?
That's where maybe they're starting to go too far and maybe hurting their cause. But one of the worst examples that may end up hurting their cause as much as anything else occurred this weekend when they attacked a counter-protester who simply expressed an opinion that's different than theirs. Now, this is what we would...
Do you know how divided America is? Oh my gosh! Religion, lifestyle, poor, rich, age gap, a generational gap. It's so divided. So if China, Hong Kong can't get along, could you imagine how much more the melting pot of the world? People, get it together. Let's get right and get to God, all right? I believe we need to. This is around the time.
call un-American, right? Attacking somebody for simply having a different point of view. Watching this video that I'm about to show you as a man suggests that everyone should unite for the good of China. Here it is.
He said, we are all Chinese. Hey, guess what? Let's make America great again. We already used that slogan. So once that hits here, we're not going to be able to say anything to each other. We're not going to be able to bring each other back. We're going to be so totally gone at that point in time. We may be cannibals. Okay. They're already promoting cannibals on the front page of the New York Post. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So if you don't think Soylent Green's real, if you don't think impossible meats could possibly be impossible, okay? Who would eat a meat called impossible meat? Who would want a meat called Beyond Meat? No, I want to stay on the same level. Okay, now, in reality, we should not be eating stuff that screams at slaughter. That's natural. That's natural, okay? We should not be eating things that cry before they're slaughtered, because they're living. They understand that they don't want to die, and we're killing them for their flesh and meat in order for us to consume. Is that not the ultimate form of greed? Okay, but since we're in the supermarket world, we're not looking at the plight of the dead animals. We're looking at, well, they're on the shelf, so we pick them up. Now, I'm here on earth. I was born American, so I'm not saying that I'm exempt from anything. I still buy meat. I'm still messed up too. I know that I have to get myself right, and I'm bringing it to you that we need to get right all together. We definitely should be starting to go back to vegetation. But with meat, with meat being called impossible meat or beyond meat, do we have to take it that far? Do we have to go that far, people? That's what I'm trying to tell you right now. So they're going to start promoting cannibalism. There's already fetuses being used for flavor additives. Go check out Senomix. You can go on YouTube anytime, put in SENOMYX, okay? And do your own research. Check it out. They're using fetal tissue and sodas and chips and stuff for flavor additives. So now they're going to start creating meat. Hey, check out Soylent Green. This was made in 1976. Okay, Charlton Heston. It was about New York City in the year 2022, and the ocean was dying, plankton was dying due to global warming, climate change, the sun heating up the Earth's core, and tectonic plates shifting, earthquakes, volcanic activity, lava, magma. Okay, just to let you know that we're on that course. That's why I constantly promote that we need to get close to God, as you see at the bottom of the screen, okay? But I don't understand why somebody would want to remove my stream. They'll say, hey, you know what? We need to let people do what they want to do. No, I'm letting you know why the sins are befalling this place. I'm letting you know what's going on. We shouldn't have a man teaching a child that they can dress up just like he can, and he's dressing out of order himself. Why is he wearing a tutu? Huh? You let me know about that. Because we got freedom, huh? Well, let you know, while they promote that, they're also letting you know that the demise is coming. Look at the guy in the glasses right there. That's fear, okay? That's fear that you're seeing on your screen. Right here. This gentleman right here. That's fear on your screen, okay? Hey, don't believe in my God, bro. Sorry about your God, bro, but we need help, okay? The planet needs help. Your God will possibly have you come out with a PlayStation 7 or a flying Mercedes Benz, okay? But my God said that this destruction of the planet must stop, okay? So you don't have to believe in my God. I'm cool with nobody believing in God, but at this point, the judgments of God is befalling the planet. Now, the reason why I would implore you to believe in my God is because in the Bible, this is already prophesied. You remember the Bible that people say is a Hallmark publication or a Harry Potter book or something fake? Well, here, let's go to Revelation chapter 16. I'm gonna start at 3. Now, these are the plagues that befall the earth for the fact that They wasn't listening to God. Okay. No, you know what? I'm gonna be so. I'm try to be as good now that. Thank you for being honest that you're a pagan. Check this out though. I'm gonna read at verse 16. I'm gonna start at the second verse. The first. Oh wait. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start at 1. It says, "And I heard a great voice come out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your way and pour out the vials of the wrath of God upon the earth. The first went out and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there was a noisome, grievous sore that fell upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them that worshipped his image." Now, the mark of the beast is that microchip that they're using in Sweden, and they moved over to Wisconsin and in Arkansas. The image of the beast is going to be one of them Hanson Robotics, or what's the other place? Oh man, Boston Dynamics or something like that. They're building androids, okay? They're building robots. Just in case you're like, nah, I don't know. In order for you to understand that, you would have to go to Revelation chapter 13 and 15. It said, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that it should both speak and cause as many who would not worship the image of the beast to be killed." To be killed. To be killed. So, if you're thinking that the Bible's fake, if you're thinking God's not real, then you can remove yourself. It's okay. I have no problem. I was sitting here speaking to a zero people, and there was nobody here. So only real people is going to understand this. They're gonna watch it, and some people go remove it. A lot of people go remove themselves. But let me get back on course here. "And the second angel poured out his vial upon the sea, and it became as the blood of dead men, and every living soul died in the sea. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and fountains of water, and they became as blood. And I heard the angel of the water say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which are and was and shall be, because thou hast judged this. For they have shed the blood of saints and prophets." Who will want to shed blood of saints and prophets? You tell me that. But thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. And I hope, in fact, I know, thanks to you getting my stream knocked off the last time, you are being recompensed. Okay? So, check this out here. Check this out here. I ain't done. "For they have shed the blood of the saints and prophets, and thou hast given them blood to drink, for they are worthy." Now, this is Revelations. This is the last book of the Bible. So people that say the Bible's fake, it's not real, you're believing in a fantasy, this day is about to come. This is prophetic, okay? This is due time, okay? Check it. "For they are worthy. And I heard another come out of the altar saying, Even so, Lord God Almighty, true and righteous are thy judgments. Then the fourth angel," now mind you, these are plagues befalling the planet. These are judgments hitting the planet. "Then the fourth angel poured out his vial upon the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire." Now, if he had power to intensify the sun, is that not climate change? What's that gonna? Now, the men he was given power to scorch men with fire. What does that do to their environment? What does that do to their climate, their environment? So right there, from there it goes, "And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of God, which had power over these plagues, and they did not repent to give him glory." Okay? So if you're sitting there thinking that the Bible, the Word of God, is fictitious, Harry Potter, Hallmark, then I implore you to go do something with yourself. Okay? That's what I'll tell you to do. Okay? The pagans, you're pagan, remove yourself. All right? Because this is actually happening. All right? So I don't know where these people are coming from with their stuff. And then 9 times out of 10, it's always somebody that does no research. You know, somebody will say, "Oh, I don't believe in the Bible." Well, guess what, bro? Guess what, bro? sorry about your God, bro, but we need help. Okay? That's how I feel about that. Just like it said, for shedding the blood of the prophets and saints. Now, what kind of a world are we in that will want to shed the blood of a saint? Now, I remember when I was coming up, a saint was a person that seek no harm. They wanted unity and peace and love. But now, out of nowhere, for some reason, now all of a sudden people want to kill saints. India has a purge on Christianity. Sweden has a purge on Christianity. China has a purge on Christianity. Heck, America got a purge on Christianity. So now we're watching the judgments before the world. Sorry about your luck. Sorry about your God, bro. Sorry about your God. You could call on the many gods you want to as a pagan. Okay? But this is happening.
Now, there's the guy in the white shirt. There's a photojournalist in front of him. And as soon as they see he's on camera, look what happens. For expressing his point of view, they punch him. Now he comes back and attacks him again. He's being attacked for his point of view. Punched in the face repeatedly while reporters look on. Are protesters getting too brazen?
Yeah, you know why? No. Could you imagine when it hits America? You know why that actually happened like that? Due to the fact that he was sitting there trying to promote a standard that they was tired of. They were saying, yo, we've already tried to come together as Chinese. We know that you're paid off. We know that you're coming from something good. You don't have the poverty. You don't have the problems or the tribulations that we are. So, of course, we're going to turn on you. Okay? It's common sense.
Their demonstrations. See, many Hong Kong experts look at this and suggest that that's the case that's happening. And they say it may be just a matter of time before Beijing sends in reinforcements to stop this type of thing.
Hey, you know what? And when it gets to America, National Guard, you're gonna have you're gonna possibly have the Army. Okay, the Army's not supposed to be on American soil. Plain and simple. They do outside stuff. But just like they said, they're gonna look for reinforcements. So at some point in time, when it hits America, it's gonna be way worse than this. All right, I'm just letting you know.
After days of demonstrations across Iraq, the number of dead continues to rise. In the aftermath of the killings, Iraq's interior ministry
and another thing, this is my channel. You don't like my voice? Remove yourself. You can find these videos on YouTube by yourself, okay? If you're thinking for a minute that, oh, I don't want to hear this guy, he sounds nutty, he's crazy, I'm just bored or whatever, do whatever you want to do, okay? I'm just letting you know what time we're in.
Eyewitness accounts that security forces fired live ammunition at protesters. Everyone knows there were no armed
Uh-oh, this don't look like China. This don't look like China. So let me get this right. This global thing that's going on, this is all fake news, right? So everything I'm putting up is fake news. So shouldn't I be asking for donations? Should I be asking for something? Because I'm putting on a show here, right? This is just pure entertainment for you and me. You better get yourself together.
Battles, clashes or confrontations between the security forces and the protesters. But there were wicked and heinous hands that targeted the victims on both sides. When we went and checked the bodies of the martyrs, the injuries were in the head or the heart. It is clear that the shooting did not take place from a close distance or from the area where the security forces were present.
Snipers were aiming at heads and hearts. Heads and chests, okay? Just to let you know. So once it comes here, it's going to be way more chaotic. In fact, I remember a few years ago. Wow, this was probably like I would say probably like 10 years ago. I remember that there was an ex-police chief or ex-police sergeant that was on West 4th in Manhattan, and he had sniper expertise, and he was just sniping people from a building. So once people get to this point over here in America, how tolerant you think they're gonna be? I'm you know, just for knowledge.
A serious investigation is ongoing to find out who is behind such a wicked and heinous operation.
There have been scores of casualties as demonstrators vent their anger at a government that's been in power for just over a year. The protesters are mainly young men. Youth unemployment has now reached 25%, according to the World Bank.
We, the youth, are protesting peacefully.
Hey, Alex, tell them how Russia's doing. Hey, Alex, tell them how Russia's doing. How you doing, bud? Let them know how Russia's doing, okay? Because I know it's going crazy all over the globe. If you got some news, please share it with the audience.
What do they want from the youth? Why are they killing us?
The protesters say they've had enough of a system that they say is corrupt and serving the interests of a few. They say they don't support any political parties. But that hasn't stopped the political opposition from backing the protesters and calling for new elections.
I think this is a case of political point scoring. This is a systemic issue. So when you have parties refusing to take part in parliamentary debates, making sure that there isn't a quorum so that it can't go ahead, this is all so that they can pile on pressure on Prime Minister Adel Abdel Mahdi.
On Sunday, the Iraqi government pledged 17 reforms covering land redistribution, increased welfare payments to those in need, and the construction...
Is it me or is anybody seeing these military trucks? These are American things.
Pressure on Prime Minister Adel Abdel Mahdi.
On Sunday, the Iraqi government pledged...
Somebody tell me where they're supposed to fit in. You look at their whole area. You see how rural it is. You see how they got... Yo, they live in mud huts, for crying out loud. You see what I mean? Like, and I ain't trying to say nothing bad about them, but at the same time, they live very natural. You see what I mean? Where's this abnormal, super modern monstrosity coming at? Where is this coming from? Yo, this needs to be removed from the planet, okay? Believe it or not, it doesn't matter. That's what's already happening. That's due to the tectonic shift. That's due to the displacement of water. That's due to the Arctic melting, okay? That's due to the heating up, okay? Wildfires. Only you can prevent forest fires. Anyone remember that one? Okay, let's get back.
17 reforms covering land redistribution, increased welfare payments to those in need, and the construction of 100,000 new housing units. The government launched a program of home demolitions in September, targeting the makeshift shelters of the poor. The head of the UN mission to Iraq is called...
If you just seen it, for anyone that actually likes doing research...
distribution, increased welfare...
It says, please... remember to sub to my new channel. I need you guys. Link in description. So, okay. This guy's channel's name is Signs and Wonders. Okay? Signs and Wonders. And he's constantly putting up new content and new material. Because there's the way things are happening in succession or in fast rate, yo, you better get it together. That's all I can say. Because people are sitting there saying that they're their own gods. They saying that they trust in their next fellow man. They saying a whole bunch of stuff. But who has control over the sun? Except he who's in the heavens. So why are we sitting here saying that it's fairy tale? You know what? You know what's a fairy tale? Sunscreen. That's a real fairy tale. That's nothing but chemicals. Okay? So if you don't think that you're going to need a lot more sunscreen, especially around November and December, hey, go outside then. Let's see how far you get.
Payments to those in need and the construction of 100,000 new housing units. The government launched a program of home demolitions in September, targeting the makeshift shelters of the poor. The head of the UN mission to Iraq has called for the violence to stop in a tweet. One of the few international voices to speak up, as Iraq still struggles to deal with the aftermath of the invasion by the US and its coalition.
Oh, no. We got to go back. They wanted them to stop the violence due to a tweet. A tweet, okay?
Housing units. The government launched a program of home demolitions in September, targeting the makeshift shelters of the poor. The head of the UN mission to Iraq has called for the violence to stop in a tweet. One of the few international voices to speak up Iraq.
In a tweet. Yo, did y'all see the tweet? What? The United Nations wants us to stop this. They said that they're going to send out their military. Come on. They could have been sent the blue helmets or the blue shields or whatever they want to call them. All right? They're letting this stuff go down. Order ab chaos. Okay? Order out of chaos. All right? That's what the mantra was. That's what the mantra still is. Okay? Out of all this chaos, they're going to get order. So if you're thinking, think again.
Struggles to deal with the aftermath of the invasion by the US and its coalition of the willing in 2003.
Invasion of the US. Every time the US comes in something, this happens. Look, you got Back to the Future on the shirt. Is that me? Did I make this? No. That's the way he's standing. Back to the Future, baby. And he got the flame standing behind him like he done came. Like he's the goddamn DeLorean. Yo, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. This is where we're at.
Nancy, Al Jazeera.
Meanwhile, Iraqis who are worried about the safety of their family at home have been staging a protest in front of the White House. Members of this solidarity rally said they can't get hold of their family because of the shutdown of the internet, and they say the government crackdown is an attack on democracy.
We are here demonstrating in support of the people of Iraq, and this is a letter addressed to the White House asking them to help the Iraqi people and stand against Iranian interference. And we call on the protests in Iraq to continue.
We're here to support the people of Iraq who are getting killed in the peaceful demonstrations for simply asking for their rights. They cut off their internet, they cut off their electricity so they don't relay their message.
And when they cut off the internet and the electricity is what you're going to see. That's how you get to move around at night, honey. That's how you get to actually see who's walking behind you, sweetie. But as you see this guy here in the background, I think he's got some plans for you. This guy right here, he looking like he wants some of you. So you never know. Once that electricity goes out, once that nighttime hits and you hear them crickets, somebody may be grabbing that booty and next thing you know, you're gone. No? So you got to be careful. You got to see where we're at, okay? Come on, let's go.
To the world. And we're here to show our support and to tell them we stand with you and to say Iran out, out, Iraq will remain free.
The White House says Turkey will invade northern Syria soon, and that it's been threatening to do so for a number of months. Washington really...
Okay. So when you hear wars and rumors of wars, be not frightened, for these things must come to pass to let you know that the end is nigh. All right? So if you're sitting there saying, nah, it's not real, nah, I can't believe it, it's right here in front of you. Now, if you want to deem this fake news, then I would deem fiat currency, fake currency, or fake economic growth. I would deem digital currency or cryptocurrency, fake economic growth. All the things that Greta said at the UN summit, okay? Your fairy tales of eternal economic growth, okay? Remember.
A statement in which it said, the United States Armed Forces will not support or be involved in the operation, and having defeated the ISIS territorial caliphate, will no longer be in the immediate area. Right, let's get the very latest now from our correspondent in Istanbul, Sinem Koziolu. And Sinem, so this information coming out of Washington, what is Turkey saying about this operation, which apparently is imminent?
Martin, actually, right before White House, I have this announcement, Turkish President Recep Tayyip.
Imminent. That means that it can happen any minute, any hour, okay? That's not soon. It's not maybe it's going to happen. It's imminent. So this is war breaking out between Turkey and Russia, I believe. Let's check it again, okay?
Erdogan and the U.S. President.
Wars and rumors of wars. That's where we're at.
Forces will not support or be involved in the operation, and having defeated the ISIS territorial caliphate, will no longer be in the immediate area. Right, let's get the very latest now from our correspondent in Istanbul, Sinem Koziolu. And Sinem, so this information coming out of Washington, what is Turkey saying about this operation, which apparently is imminent?
Martin, actually, right before White House, I have this announcement. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and the U.S. President, Mr. Donald Trump, had a phone conversation. And after that, we had a readout from the Turkish presidency saying that both leaders exchanged opinions, talked about this possible military intervention in northern Syria, and they both agreed to meet.
You could run in and out of the room all you want. All you're doing is raising my view. Now, what you also got to take into consideration is also the fact that these are the beginning trails of world war. You're starting to see a world at war, okay? So, everyone that's sitting there, nah, this ain't happening and all, look at what's happening, okay? You're now looking at the beginnings of a world war. And just like little Greta said, we're looking at the beginnings of a mass extinction, okay? So you can say that we're living in fear. This is just a warning. Now, if you don't want to be warned, just add to the view. I'm good. Like I said, once you remove yourself, that's one view. But that's one troll that's removed themselves. So I'm cool with the fact that I'm in here with 0 people. What you have to remember is that this is going on YouTube. So at least I know I put the message out. At least I tried to get it out. Okay? Whereas some people is up there on their streams doing weird stuff. They're talking on their couch. They're just doing crazy things. So since I choose to put my faith in what you deem is fantasy, and I'm looking at it as reality, hey, you know what? If you don't like it, remove yourself, go to another stream, as you do, okay? But this is happening.
On Mr. Trump's invitation in Washington next month. So there was no sign of a military intervention in the Turkish statement. However, Turks have been calling for this military intervention for a long time, as you also know. And Turkey wanted support from the U.S. and actually a permission to enter in that area. Both sides have been joint patrolling 5 kilometers deep in the by the northern border of Turkey inside Syria.
Somebody told me this was fake news. And where's the trolls at now? Why don't you get this removed? Can you get this removed? That's what my problem is. Because when you start getting down to the real nitty-gritty truth, that's when everybody want to get butt hurt, and then they want to get your stream removed. But when you're coming out with this, they want to label it fake news. But this says breaking news, okay? And that tank looks mighty real. And that soldier that's guiding the tank looks mighty real. So if, like I said, if this is fake news, then what's your currency? What's your cryptocurrency, your digital currency? Is that not fake as well?
Now it seems that Turkey was expecting to have this together. However, there is one question, Martin. The Americans say that Turkey will be alone in this operation. Currently we have no idea about the airspace, because last week Turkish Defense Minister was also again making a call for such an operation, saying that Turkey's patience has been over, but Turkey needs support from U.S. counterparts, especially in opening the airspace.
Right.
For now, we don't know any details about this.
Let me interrupt.
Yes.
Sorry, let me interrupt you, please. So there has been a statement coming from the presidential spokesman, Ibrahim Kalin, in which he talks about Turkey going in to create this safe zone and cleaning up terrorist elements. What do the Turks mean when they talk about...
It's not going to happen, lady. Let me let you know now. I'm going to move this up a little bit to see where we're at. But all these events that's transpiring, they are irreversible.
At Digital TV the morning after an unprecedented attack on its offices in Baghdad. In the course of 20 minutes, the entire building was ransacked, equipment seized, and then the newsroom set on fire. Mohammed was one of a dozen staff present when the raid took place.
17 cars arrived. In each car, there were 5 people wearing black clothes. The vehicles had no license plates. They wore helmets and body armor. They were carrying light weapons with full military devices.
Mohammed presumes Dijla was targeted for its coverage of the protests. The question on...
So, wait. They want to take away your arms and your protection. They want to take away your guns. But they come to you full garb down in armor, and they have military weaponry. And you're saying that this is okay? You're cool with this? Okay.
One's mind, who is responsible? For the moment, there are few answers.
There's no indication it was a government force. Not the cars, not the insignia that any force is supposed to wear. This is a force without insignia, without an address, without number plates.
A few kilometers down the same road, NRT, another local channel, takes stock of the devastation after a very similar incident. In fear of reprisals, this man wanted to remain anonymous.
This is the newsroom. You can see the state it is in. They entered here. They were masked. We don't know anything. We don't know who they belong to. An unknown armed group.
Alright. When you get a chance, watch the rest of that. I want to get into the, what you call it, eat babies. Let's check this out. Because you can actually put this, you can put this into a YouTube search. You can go to Google, you can put it in a Google search. Yeah, look, eat the babies. Now, where is it? They said Trump troll. Trump troll, okay?
You know, getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stopping having babies, that's not enough. We need to eat the babies. And this is very serious. Please give a response.
Oh, cringe. Really hard to watch. In case that wasn't obvious enough, that is not a person who is speaking authentically. That is a Trump troll trying to get Representative Ocasio-Cortez to agree with her that we should eat babies. Did it work? Well, let's find out.
We need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present. Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero in several years. But I think we all need to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have and that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there is space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
Okay, so AOC was obviously concerned.
No. She didn't have no way to answer that. You would have to stop driving cars. You would have to stop breathing. You would have to start growing a lot more trees, and we would have to stop using a lot more loose leaf. I'm just letting you know where we're at, okay? Just let you know. Here we go.
You know, getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time. There's too much CO2. All of you, you're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's the...
You're a pollutant. You're a pollutant. Yeah, let's do it again.
You know, getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem fast enough. A Swedish professor saying that we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So
why is he saying we can eat dead people? Because they said every time we kill meat or we kill an animal, they're releasing a lot of carbon into the air. And then when we're driving cars and diesel fuels, the fossil fuels, that's releasing carbon into the air too. Hey, that means the oxygen levels are the oxygen levels are lowering on the planet. Now this is a possibility. But this chick did not have to stand up in town hall and tell people to eat babies. Now, if you think that that's okay, That's
saying,
sick.
we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies. We don't have enough time.
Yo, did you see the black lady behind her head pop up? Like, are you kidding me? Did she just say that? She wrote it down too. Yo.
Saying, we can eat dead people, but that's not fast enough. So I think your next campaign slogan has to be this: we got to start eating babies.
Look.
We too much CO2. Oh.
Ain't nobody down with eating no babies. Hey, but that chick over here, this one on the far over here, she look like she's guessing it. She think about it. She got a contemplating face on, like, interesting. Look at the guy behind her. They're all just looking. Look at them. They kind of like thinking about it. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna start eating babies. Look at the one. Look at this one. Look at this one, yo. She's laughing. She's smiling. Now, either she knows that this is a fake job, this is like a hoax, or she's actually like Murphy Brown, like, yeah, let's eat babies. But nobody else is smiling amongst the crowd. Everybody's like, whoa, intrigued. Yo, this is sick. This is where we're at, okay? Here we go.
You're a pollutant. So we have to get rid of the babies. That's a big problem. Just stop.
You're a pollutant. In X-Men Apocalypse, the screen said, I could love you like I love a new form of bacteria. And then in Godzilla, the lady was like, humans have become a bacteria to the planet. What is this chick saying? You're a pollutant. So off of me talking, I'm emitting carbon. That's what they're saying. Off of all this, so for 46 minutes now so far, I've emitted so much carbon that I need to be eradicated from the earth. Well, guess what? You first. Because you know what? At least I'm sitting here saying the kingdom of God is nigh. You're telling us to save the planet, we have to eat babies. What kind of weird protest is this? Tell me about it.
Having babies is not enough. We need to eat the babies. And this is very serious. Please give a response.
Oh, cringe. Really hard.
This chick said that that's a Trump troll. That wasn't no Trump troll because Trump wasn't there.
To watch. In case that wasn't obvious enough, that is not a person who is speaking authentically. That is a Trump troll trying to get Representative Ocasio-Cortez to agree with her.
Bull. You know where she's speaking authentically? Because it was a Swedish professor or scientist that said that we should start eating dead flesh. So that's a reality. So I don't know where this lady's got her research, but that other lady wasn't a troll. She did her homework. She knew that there was a scientist from Sweden that said that we need to start eating flesh, dead flesh, to help our climate. So this ain't no Trump troll. This is actual news, lady. Get your stuff together.
That we should eat babies. Did it work? Well, let's find out.
But we're already eating babies. Babies are in Cinemix. You gotta go to Cinemix in YouTube, do the research, and you'll find babies are additives. They're using stem cells and aborted fetuses for flavor enhancement. This is right there in Daily News.
We need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency that it does present.
Hey, it is irreversible. I wish I could talk to you. I wish I could talk to you. I'll tell you hey, it is irreversible. You cannot change the temperature of the sun. The sun is now letting off extreme amounts of energy. So no matter what you do, we can sit there and treat it with the urgency that it is, but it'll be irreversible, honey. So let you know, the kingdom of God is nigh.
Luckily, we have more than a few months. We do need to hit net zero in several years. But I think we all need to...
What gets me, hold on, what gets me is she did a Instagram stream and she was talking about how we have only like 12 months or we have like a few months. So she knows exactly what this lady's saying. She knows what she's hearing. But she wants to keep everybody calm. Nah, we could still make it out. But I'm wondering why she ain't got a wedding ring on. See? You see what's going on? Because if she had a husband told her, hey, let's buy a bunker.
to understand that there are a lot of solutions that we have and that we can pursue, and that if we act in a positive way, there is space for hope. We are never beyond hope.
Okay, so it was...
Okay. How are we gonna calm this down? How are we gonna reduce carbon? Hold on, let me see that. Let's do a little researching together. Here, let's lower carbon. Let's see how we will lower carbon, because she said that there's easier ways. Okay. Let's check this out. I want to see if anybody does this. Oh man, I cleared it. Hold on, I got clear again. Oh man, bear with me, please bear with me. Lower carbon emissions. Oh man. Because this is another case of climate change. Lower carbon footprint. Now let's see what they're... Oh, here we go. 3 steps.
Watch for the grand opening of Saratoga Casino Hotel's new... The term climate change carries a lot of emotion. Guilt, anger, frustration, fear, but rarely any feelings of hope or accomplishment. And never any pride, and of course it doesn't. We're bombarded every day by images that seem to have only one conclusion.
This was 1 year ago. Look on your screen, please. 1 year ago this video was put up. Okay? This is how bad our climate has been getting.
We're all just screwed. We're screwed, and there's not a lot we can do about it. Scientists are telling us that we're ruining the planet. You and I are ruining the planet every day.
I'm just talking. I'm professing the kingdom of God. I'm not doing anything to this planet. Excuse you very much. Think about that one, okay? I ain't doing nothing to the planet. In X-Men Apocalypse, it said, I can love you like I love a newfound bacteria. And in Godzilla, it said, humans have become the bacteria of the planet. Now, what did he just say in this TED Talk? TED Talks is supposed to be big, right?
Of course it doesn't. We're bombarded every day by images that seem to have only one conclusion. We're all just screwed. We're screwed, and there's not a lot we can do about it. Scientists are telling us that we're ruining the planet. You and I are ruining the planet every day by just living our lives. They're saying that we're to blame. But it's so hard to see anything that we can do to change that.
Nah. I gotta go back, because old boy told me he didn't believe in my God. He said he didn't believe in my God. Guess what? My God said this has to stop.
Anger, frustration, fear, but rarely any feelings of hope or accomplishment. And never any pride, and of course it doesn't. We're bombarded every day by images that seem to have only one conclusion. We're all just screwed.
Yeah, that's it. You see what you have done to yourself and to the planet? Do you see this? Is this okay? Hey, how come they have hybrid cars, but they're more expensive than your traditional car that emits carbon. If they really cared about the planet, when they make hybrid cars more affordable than traditional cars, because they would say, well, even though we put more resources and technology into the vehicle, we want to save the planet, so we want people to really start using these, so we made it more affordable, right? But no, that's not where we're going. We're not going there. Let's go.
We're screwed, and there's not a lot we can do about it.
Come on. Some of y'all got to chuckle. You didn't hear them chuckling? Yo, this is funny. Come on. Y'all know this is a funny thing. Everybody laughing about this.
We're all just screwed. We're screwed.
You didn't hear everybody laughing? That's funny. Our carbon footprint's at 60% of the planet. And they're all laughing. It's all funny to them. Come on, you gotta have a sense of humor about this. Come on, get together.
And there's not a lot we can do about it. Scientists are telling us that we're ruining the planet. You and I are ruining the planet every day by just living our lives. They're saying that we're to blame. But it's so hard to see anything that we can do to change that. I mean, I guess there are obvious things. We could live without electricity or heat and ride a bicycle everywhere. But if everyone did that, most things in our society would have to change anyway. And where do we even start? It feels pretty hopeless. But I've been working on solutions to climate change for 10 years, and I'm here to tell you that it's not hopeless. We have the power to stop climate change. You and I do right now. I'm not talking about changing light bulbs or buying more efficient refrigerators. I mean actually stopping climate change. We have the power. We've just lost sight of our power, and in order to find it again, we need a new paradigm. We need a new perspective that shows us exactly what we can do every day to fight climate change. That's going to take some work to get there. We're going to have to dig through some science, but when we come out the other side, you'll know how to cut your carbon footprint by 60% today. Our new perspective has 3 parts. First, we need to know about green carbon. Then we need to know about fossil carbon. And finally, we need to know about green carbon versus fossil carbon in our modern world. So let's get started. First, green carbon. Green carbon is all about carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide gets a lot of press these days. We hear about it coming out of our tailpipes. We hear about it coming out of our smokestacks. We hear about it causing climate change. But the truth is more nuanced than that. The Earth's atmosphere has almost always contained carbon dioxide. And that's a good thing, because without carbon dioxide, our planet would be a lifeless, frozen hunk of rock like Mars. We need carbon dioxide to create the natural greenhouse effect, the greenhouse effect that keeps us from freezing. And that's really important. But even more than that, we need carbon dioxide because of something called the carbon cycle. Now, the carbon cycle is the beating heart of our planet. On geologic timescales, the carbon cycle is what sets the Earth's temperature like a thermostat. It balances the air and the rocks and the oceans and determines how hot it's going to get here. But on a day-to-day timescale, the carbon cycle is what allows complex life forms like us to exist in the first place. We wouldn't be here without the carbon cycle. And it all depends on carbon dioxide. And that's the same carbon dioxide that you're breathing out right now. Because we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, and plants do the opposite. They breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. And that's crucial because plants are actually building themselves molecule by molecule out of carbon dioxide in the air and the energy of the sun. Plants are literally made of air and sunlight. You can see this happening in your home every day. Every one of your houseplants is making itself molecule by molecule out of the energy coming through your windows and the air in your home. If they were making themselves out of the soil in their pots, the soil would disappear as they grow. But that doesn't happen because plants are made of air and sunlight. They're the start of the carbon cycle. Then it goes like this. First, green plants capture carbon from the atmosphere and the energy of the sun. Then animals eat those plants to take that carbon and energy, because animals are made out of carbon and energy of the sun too. They just take it from plants. then other animals eat those animals, on up the food chain, till eventually an animal does not get eaten, dies naturally, and then decomposition releases its carbon back into the atmosphere to start the cycle all over again. Decomposition is what balances the carbon cycle. It makes sure that the carbon that goes in comes back out again on the other side, and that it all forms a closed loop, just circulating the carbon from one side to the other. Now, there's a cycle like this that happens in the oceans. There's a cycle like this that happens in the soil. All of this carbon I call green carbon. Green carbon is the carbon that's supposed to be here. It's the carbon of living things. It's the carbon of the carbon cycle. It's the carbon of our climate. Green carbon does not cause climate change because it can't cause climate change. It already is our climate. It's already a part of our thermostat. Fossil carbon is what causes climate change. Now, climate change is a huge issue. There are all sorts of contributing factors, but this is the big one. Fossil carbon is the main cause of climate change. If we can stop releasing fossil carbon, we can turn the tide of climate change. And in order to do that, we need to understand it. We need to know about its origin, and so we need to go back in time. And we can go back to any number of places in the Earth's history, but we're going to go back and visit the dinosaurs. And the first thing we notice when we get there is that there's a whole lot more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is the late Jurassic period, and there's 7 times as much CO2 in the atmosphere as the Earth today. It was hot. But the carbon cycle operated just the way that ours does. First, green plants capture carbon from the atmosphere as the energy of the sun. Then animals eat those plants to take that carbon and energy. Then other animals eat those animals, on up the food chain, until eventually an animal does not get eaten, dies naturally, and then decomposition releases its carbon back into the atmosphere to start the cycle all over again. At least that's how